I'm listening to a podcast right now, and it's with Gary Vaynerchuk and Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins just said, if you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. And this really made me start thinking about this, right? And so, you know how when you ask people to hang out or do something like that, and they come back with you with, I'd love to, but I'm so busy. My next week is so packed, or this month is so busy, but next month I'm free, or next week I'm free, or next year I'll be free. I have so much stuff going on. I have no free time for a 10-minute conversation or a 30-minute cup of coffee or an hour meetup. And one of my biggest things is, going off of what Tony Robbins says, is if you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. That just means you don't have enough margin in your life to do these things that you want to do, right? And it's another conversation of your priorities, right? Because when people ask me, how do you have enough time to work out in the morning, or how do you have enough time to go watch movies, 3 movies a week, or go bowling? I go bowling maybe 3-4 times a week after work, right? How do you have time to do all these things? And I was telling my friend recently, so I have 8 hours a day to sleep, let's say, and let's say 8 hours are spent at work, right? And then let's say I have, let's say 1 hour for hygiene or whatever, 2 hours to eat and whatnot. So then I have 5 hours left over. What am I doing with those 5 hours, right? Me personally, I don't have kids. I don't have other outside responsibilities, things that I have to tend to after work. And so what else do I do with it, right? I could do it spending on things like social media, which I do. I spend some time on social media as well. But what are my priorities? For me personally, if I don't have a couple hours a week to go to the movie theaters, because that's what I love doing, then I feel like I'd be stressed out. And I think a lot of people, when they don't have that margin in their lives, they get so stressed out and they don't have that balance. They don't get to do the things that really help them unwind and rest. I think that's when they run into some problems, right? And if you don't have time, like what Tony Robbins says, if you don't have time, 10 minutes to spend with someone who you enjoy spending time with or want to spend time with, you're like, I would love to, but I can't until next week. It's like next week, you have so little margin in your life that those 5 extra hours a day, or, times 7, then that's like, 14 hours, let's say, just 14 hours a day, like 2 hours extra every day. You don't have that time to spend with them. That means that there's something wrong. That means either they're not a priority, which is fine, but also means that you don't have that margin in your life. It's, even people like Gary Vaynerchuk who hustle and who work 20 hours a day, or maybe it's closer to 16 or whatnot. He does all these things, taking red-eye flights, and he still has time to have 5-10 minute conversations with people and help give them stuff and give them information and knowledge and insight. If he has time to do that and spend time with people who doesn't know, what about us who don't have time to spend people with whom we love and who we love to be around and have conversations with, right? And so just food for thought, again, from Tony Robbins, if you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. And I truly agree with that. I think we need to build more margin into our lives, and we need to reprioritize to the things that really matter, and to really question ourselves. What are we doing with that extra 5 hours or 2 hours a day, or whatever hours that we have left over after the necessities are done? Whether it's working out or whatnot, working out for me it's not an option, it's a necessity. Because for me, I value, longevity, feeling good, energy, having focus during the day, and all that stuff. So it's not an option for me, just like hygiene isn't an option for some people, and for most people it should be. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why good hygiene is good, and it's not an option for people. And so I think, again, finding that margin to spend with people and those quality connections is really key.